Look, I get it. You had a dream, but it's taking a while. You get frustrated and you give up. And you can do that. You can walk away. Or you could remind yourself that you want to make excellent, beautiful things, and that takes time. And I know it's discouraging because the painting in your head right now is so different than the painting on the canvas in front of you. You want to be proud of what you're making, and right now you're not. Host and creator of This American Life, Ira Glass, says this: all of us who do creative work, we get into it because we have good taste. But there is this gap. For the first couple of years you make stuff, it's just not that good. It's trying to be good, but it isn't. It has potential, but it's not. But your taste, the thing that got you into the game, is still killer. And your taste is why your work disappoints you. A lot of people never get past this phase. They quit. Most people I know who do interesting creative work went through years of this. And Glass goes on to say, it is only by going through a volume of work that you will close that gap, and your work will be as good as your ambitions. It's gonna take a while. It's normal to take a while. My family went on a lot of road trips as a kid, and I remember driving in the back seat like, oh my goodness, we're still driving. This is taking forever. I'm glad I don't have to drive. And then when I was old enough to do it, it still seemed intimidating. I'd never done it before. I wasn't a driver until I started doing it. And then I was technically a driver, but I questioned that. I started in a parking lot. I had to be a little bit patient with myself. And then I graduated up to back roads, and eventually I was on the highway, but I still had a little bit of imposter syndrome. Am I really supposed to be behind the wheel? The distances I drove got longer and longer. When I moved to college, I lived about 2.5 hours from my parents, and that distance felt like forever until I started doing it. And then all of a sudden 2.5 hours didn't seem too bad. Along the way, I discovered more podcasts, the friends I could call to get me through the drive, the best rest stops along the way. Now I live 8 hours from my folks, and 2.5 feels like child's play. I think we get so angry at ourselves for learning how to park when we're in the parking lot stage. We want to be on I-75 flooring it, but we're just not there yet. William Barclay gives an eerie observation about the poet Samuel Taylor Coleridge. He says, Coleridge is the supreme tragedy of indiscipline. Never did so great a mind produce so little. It has been said of him that he lost himself in visions of work to be done that always remained to be done. Coleridge had every poetic gift but one, the gift of sustained and concentrated effort. In his head, he had all kinds of books completed except for the transcription. But the books were never composed outside Coleridge's mind because he would not face the discipline of sitting down to write them out. If you want to do it, if you really want to do it, don't just talk about it, actually do it. Start somewhere and then keep going. My friend Josh, a local creative that I really admire, he said that his dad told him once, in order to catch lightning, you have to stand out in the rain. Every Tuesday for the last 6 months, we've been meeting, processing, brainstorming, writing, and some days we're more proud of our work than others, but we are standing out in the rain together. Okay, do you remember when we were kids and we would try to draw an apple or a person, except for us, it wasn't trying to draw an apple or trying to draw a person. That's what we did. We knew that there was an apple there somewhere. We knew there was a person there somewhere, even if those around us weren't so sure. But then we get older and comparison sets in, and we get a lot harder on ourselves, and we get discouraged, and then we don't want to draw an apple or a person anymore because it doesn't look like what's in our heads. It doesn't look the way we know it's supposed to be. And so we just stop trying. Our perception largely strengthens, but that also means we are a lot harder on ourselves and get discouraged. Please hear me. Your passions and your gifts will grow as you invest in them. And I know it can be discouraging and frustrating and even heartbreaking at times. I think that in the emotion and in the frustration, we tell ourselves it's better to not even try at all. And that may feel true now, but I promise you the scarier thing later will be if we never tried at all. We may only be here for so long, but while we're here, we get to grow. We get to pursue our talents. wherever you are, in the parking lots, on the back roads, on the interstate. Take a deep breath, look around, and keep going. There's a lot of us right there with you. I'll see you out there.